Hi, welcome to the Portfolio Build Along on Salesforce Experience Cloud. The goal of this workshop is for each of you to build your own personal portfolio site using Salesforce Experience Cloud that can be used to showcase your experiences, skills, and achievements while also demonstrating your knowledge of Salesforce. You can consider it your digital resume, so to speak. My name is Kimberly, and I'll be presenting this build along. So the build along is broken down into 4 parts. Part 1 will be plan and prepare for your site. Part 2 will work on the hero and navigation menu. Part 3 will go over fonts and footers and finish our pages. And Part 4 we will be creating a contact page which is connected to a web to lead. So Part 1, plan and prepare. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to create and log in to your own developers org, determine the purpose and objective of your site, enable and create a new experience site, find and add asset files. So the first thing we want to do is create a developers org. We do that by going to developer.salesforce.com/signup. It will take you to the signup form where you will complete the signup form. For a company name, you can put anything here. I usually just put my name. If you have a company name you want to use, you can do that too. Now for the username, you want to make sure that the username is unique and it's never been used for any Salesforce login ever. And so it must also be in the form of an email address. It doesn't have to be a real email address. It just needs to be in that form. So you can have something as something like apples@bananas.oranges, and that would be fine for a username. Just make sure that you make note of it. You'll be using it to sign into your developers org later. So while we wait for the email to for you to receive an email to go ahead and create your developers org, we're going to go over the purpose and objective of your site. You should know what the purpose and objective of your site because it'll dictate the look and the function of the site. The purpose may be to showcase your Salesforce skills, and the objective is to be contacted by prospective employers. The content that you choose to display should reflect this. You may want to showcase your Trailhead accomplishments. You might want to link to your LinkedIn or Trailhead profile. You might want to include a PDF that they can download for your resume. And you should also make it personal. You can highlight your personal hobbies outside of your work life. Just be sure to know the purpose and objective prior to creating your portfolio site. So by now, you should have received an email for your new developers org. It will direct you to create a login password. Be sure to make note of this password. In the future, you will need this and the username that you just created to log into your developers org in the future at login.salesforce.com. So now I will go ahead and create a password. Once you finish the password, it'll take you directly to your org's setup page. In setup, you want to go to the quick find box and type in digital or DIGI. In there, you'll see digital experiences settings. You want to click on the box that says enable and then hit save and then OK. Now, if you go back to Quick Find and type in digital, you'll see that Digital Experiences has a lot more options than just settings now. You want to click on all sites. Once in all sites, you want to click on new. You're going to create your site. And after clicking on new, you want to name your site. You can name it anything you want, and if you want to change it, first we need to select a template. You want to choose Customer Account Portal template. That's the one we'll be using for the site. So click Get Started and then enter your name. And that's the URL of your site. It's going to be up there. And you want to hit create. It does take a few minutes for it to show up. Okay, so this is what is considered your workspace. We will mostly be using Builder and maybe administration, but mostly Builder. Once in this, if you ever need to get back to your site, you just click on that home button in the upper left-hand corner, and it'll take you back to your org's setup menu. Now, before we can start creating our site, we need to add some files and images to put on our site. And what we need to do is we need to add our images to the site's asset library. And the following video is going to show you how to upload image files from your computer to your site. First, you'll go into the app launcher, search files, click on files, then click on library or libraries, and then click on asset library. I already have some files here, but yours should be empty and blank. Then you can just hit upload asset file, and then over there to the left, you click on upload file, and it'll take you to your computer's files. And there you can add your images. You do have to do them one at a time, but you want to put all I would do this at the beginning rather than do it while you're making your site, just so that it's all organized and you know what's going to be in there. So you would just double click on the file to add it to your site. Things to remember when you're adding images, they can only be in image files, so that's something like PNG files. And you'll want to make images or create images for profile. You might have an image for your background, link icons, certifications, super badge icons, awards, hobbies, interests. Any image, that's what you'll be adding to your asset file. You should probably appropriately name your files before uploading so they're easy to find. And you want to resize your photos before uploading. And the following slide is going to show common image size used for websites. It's very handy. And you'll also want to compress the file size, which because you are limited in the amount of file size that you have in your site, so it's always a good idea to compress it. And there is a site called tinyimg.com that you just load your images there, and it will compress them into a smaller file size. But definitely take note of these image sizes that you want to create your images for. There are sites to find free images if you want images for your background or to just decorate your site. Just remember that royalty free is not always paid free. And sometimes when you go to these sites, some of them will be paid, but most of them are free. And if they are free and royalty free for commercial use, they may have you attribute the photographer on your website. That's like putting something on the bottom that says that who made the photo. But there are some really good sites out there that have mostly free images to download, and most, if not all, do not require any attribution or fee at all. And there's also a great site called SuperQubit where you can make a banner for your LinkedIn profile or your website that is Salesforce themed. So start gathering and organizing your images, and we'll meet you back at part 2 where we'll cover the hero and navigation menu.